You're listening to the New World to Go podcast with your hosts, Redbyrd and BDLG.
Hello and welcome to another episode of New World to Go. I'm your host, Redbyrd, and with me is BDLG. Bordy, we got a good one, a nice one tonight. But first and foremost, guys, we are at 1K subs. Round of applause to all you guys for supporting us. It's been a crazy ride, bro. We had no idea we'd hit it this quickly. We started doing this in November, making these videos, and it was basically just us posting the podcast VODs. And then so me and Bordy started doing this, the regular cadence that we're doing now. And dude, here we are, Bordy. About 6 months later, I guess 6 or 7 months, give or take. And we're
it's pretty crazy, man. Yeah, absolutely. It's a big milestone for us, Red, for sure. And I couldn't be more grateful to everyone who has subbed and commented and just been a part of our community overall. Join the Discord, just kind of, hey, I've been hanging out with us over the past few months. It's been an awesome ride, man. We greatly appreciate you guys. I can't express that enough, man.
Yes, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for everything you guys do for us and the support. We look forward to the game coming out and meeting more of you guys in game. Hopefully you'll join the Discord and say hi. We appreciate you guys. Seriously. Thank you. We also apologize for the video is a day late, or no, the video's on time. The podcast is a day late because we did some work. You'll notice some background changes and some work that we're doing on the scenes of the New World to Go podcast. If you're podcast listeners, you don't care at all what we're doing because you never see it. But what we did, or what I did, was mess up the audio version. There was like a bunch of slimy, corrupted sounds throughout the entire podcast, and it was intolerable. So I was like, no, we gotta do it again. So, we apologize for the late podcast posts, or I do, because it's basically my fault. So, all right, guys, let's get in here. We got some good stuff from the Twitter account of New World. We got, of course, the Touring Aeternum Reekwater edition, and we got the Summer Games event that they did on Twitch and YouTube. They did some interviews. They put out a new expedition video. So we got a lot to talk about today, and we have a company of the week, Bordy. So let's hop right in here. So, Touring Aeternum. Of course, we like this series a lot. It's basically a individual broken down tour of each of the zones. Of course, Reekwater was this week's zone. And Bordy, overall, I think the aesthetics of Reekwater are really, really cool. The swampy, infested type area. And I think more importantly, it's an in-game zone, Bordy. So what were your first thoughts of the Reekwater Touring Aeternum episode?
Yeah, man, I like the Reekwater zone overall. I mean, I think we've kind of ranted and raved about the actual videos that they're doing, the Touring Aeternum series. We both really like them. I think they're really cool. It's a great way to advertise the game, I think, and to get players hyped up. And I just like the way they're structured. I really enjoy these Touring Aeternum videos. But the Reekwater zone in particular, I think, is really cool. The swampy area is a pretty interesting area to explore, I think. I know you had a chance to participate in the Reekwater event back several months ago, which was really cool. And so all the creatures and everything we get to see in Reekwater is kind of unique, with the tentacles coming up from the ground and a lot of the angry earth over there. It's a really cool zone, man. I like it a lot. One thing that's not quite my cup of tea is the vertical, like, Reekwater settlement that just goes up. It's very much a maze, but I would imagine after going through there a few times, you probably get used to it. But I do like the setting with the boats, like the swampy area kind of there in the middle. They have a really nice shot in the Touring Aeternum video there with like the canoes and the boats there in the middle of the settlement. And they kind of came in from the swamp and they're docked right there. I thought that was really cool. It kind of adds a little bit of an RP element there to the Reekwater settlement, into the zone. And overall, I liked it, man. I think it's a really cool zone, and I think they do a great job on those videos.
Now, this is the home of the Siren Queen, one of the main bosses that we've learned about. So it's going to be cool to kind of see how she ties in and her influence ties into the zone. Obviously, one of the in-game expeditions are here as well. So it's cool to see. I think we now have at least two of the newer zones, Reekwater and Ebonskull Reach. We have a good idea of what these in-game zones are going to have, which seems to be like a main antagonist, a boss that you're kind of going to be like looking at and trying to fight against their influence within the zone. And you're going to get an in-game expedition. So Bordy, I think we're going to talk a little bit more on the episode about what we expect, probably, possibly in new content updates. But it's cool that after they've added these zones, we kind of have a good idea of what in-game is going to look like, and if they all look or are similar to Reekwater, I think it's going to be a lot of fun exploring these new zones.
Yeah, I think so, man. And I also like the fact that it's a very big fishing village too. It kind of ties in really nice. And they make the statement there again. I think this is something that you had mentioned in your video whenever you had the chance to play in Reekwater, but they make the statement in the Touring Aeternum video again that it is like a very much a prime location to fish. You're going to catch more rare fish there and different types of fish. It's kind of one of the prime locations to fish in the tournament. I like that a lot. Gives you another reason to go visit Reekwater. So I hope they kind of implement that with other zones too, with maybe some of the other resources to give players a reason to really want to travel into those areas other than kind of just to go there for whatever. It just gives you another reason to go to those zones, I think. I like it.
Right. And I love the idea of having crafting and gathering areas that are like, basically the pinnacle of that trade, and having to hang out there. It's going to be cool to like see that swamp, and then maybe the banks of the swamp lined up with fishermen, kind of like the coast on Black Desert Online. Maybe a little bit less severe because of the AFK fishing and everything, but it's going to be cool to see all your high level fishermen out there trying to catch swamp monsters and everything like that. I hope they do more of that in the future with all the other different gathering trades and potentially crafting trades as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. So that about does it for the Reekwater, the Touring Aeternum Reekwater series. If you haven't seen that already, it is posted on their Twitter. I'm sure it's on their YouTube channel as well. It's just a great series. I like that they're doing this. And dude, it's going to perfectly lead up to launch.
Yeah.
Or closed beta. Right, I'm pretty sure it
closed beta
drops off at closed beta. So we're gonna get another one next week, and I look forward to that, seeing which one it is, dude. I'm really excited about the Ebb and Scale Reach one, dude. I really want to see more of that zone. I love the Eastern influence that's there. So, all right, dude. So we got two special little interviews or videos from the New World team this weekend because of the Summer Games event. We got a deep dive with our guy Scott Lane, pandemic Scott Lane, the more epic looking Scott Lane with his beard and long hair. So I'm glad that we got to see him, dude. He did a really good interview. We didn't learn a ton. If you are invested in New World, like if you're part of the community that's kind of been following the game for a long time, but they did announce, or Scott Lane did say that later on this summer, we would be getting a glimpse at some of the post-launch content that they're going to be adding. And Bordy, it has me excited. Number one, because it's awesome to see that they've already working on and probably almost finished that post-launch content. So I'm looking or hoping for a month or two or after launch, we're going to be getting some new content, Bordy. So I'll ask you right here. I'll put you on the spot, dude. What kind of new content do you expect to be in the first ever post-launch patch?
Man, so that's a tough question, but I think from a rational standpoint, I think we'll probably get a new zone, a weapon, probably would be my guess. A new zone and a new weapon. I think that there is kind of a zone there. We have seen the map, Red, that was released recently. There was a picture somewhere of the map. Is it on there? Or it may just be on the New World website. I don't know, but there is a zone there kind of over to the west.
I think it is on the New World website.
Yeah, I think so. That's not on the actual map right now in game. So I if I had to put money on it, I would say that that's going to be the zone after release. They already have fleshed out, and I would think that we'll get a new zone and a new weapon and a new expedition along with that zone would be my guess. And I would think that maybe 3 months after release would be a pretty good timeline for that. Maybe sooner, but my guess is about 3 months. I think they'll get in there. They'll kind of flesh out some things. They'll work out some of the balancing issues because there will be some of those as more players fled the game. It's hard to get all the balancing and all that worked out in an alpha scenario when there's a limited test environment there. But I think once the floodgates are open and all these people come in there and start testing things, and there'll be more things that kind of break and they see and they can fix. And I think there'll be a lot of that going on. And then in terms of new content, that's what I think we're going to get though. I think we'll get a new zone, a new weapon, and a new expedition probably 3-ish months in. That's my guess.
All right, well, that's no one likes rational thoughts on the internet, Bordy. So shame on you for trying to be rational. I got the map up right now that you were talking about from the website. Yeah. This is from the New World official website, and here's what Bordy's taking. To the northwest of the map, we got a pretty massive a piece of land here that we it's kind of fleshed out. It's colored. So we would think that might be the next one. Of course, Aeternum's looking pretty big on this map. A lot of space up here and around over on the top right as well. But dude, Bordy, I gotta agree with you, Bordy. This piece of the map right here seems to be, at least one of the zones we'll be getting in the future. And I think they had mentioned some people had kind of like broken through the barrier of that death barrier, so to say, and explored some of that zone. So people kind of have an idea of what to expect there. If it means anything about the map and the color of the map, it does look kind of like tannish compared to the rest of the green looking map. So maybe deserts or something like that.
That's my guess, man. Yeah, I think that's the most obvious choice, right? We have everything else in the game right now. We have snow, we have jungle, we have swamp. We don't have a desert, man. I think it's going to be some sort of desert area. Yeah.
Well, and this is I've mentioned this before. I think this is the way I determine like what biomes are missing is Minecraft. I always think of the Minecraft stuff and what biomes are in Minecraft, and then which ones we need. So yeah, tundra, Minecraft, or desert. Taiga, all those things. So yeah. Whatever it is, it could be like an African themed, like maybe they were gonna get some crazy like giraffes and elephants and
that'd be cool. I'd be in there for that.
Stuff. Yeah, that would be dope.
I'd like that. Yeah, it would be.
So we'll see, dude. I'm excited. Obviously, dude. Here's what has me excited: that they're actually, they said and mentioned that they're gonna have a regular cadence of new content. They have a 10-year plan for us, Bordy, and they're following through, dude. They are going to, but at the end of the summer, start building hype for the first release of content. And, dude, I've played MMOs that come out with launch and then for like a year don't come out with new content. And so New World's going to come out of the gate punching. So I'm excited about that, dude, for sure.
Yeah, it's incredibly encouraging to hear that type of thing said whenever they're in these interviews. And I liked it, man. I thought this interview overall was really good at the Summer Games event because it brought a lot of new eyeballs to the game. For us that have been following the game for a long time, we didn't really hear anything new, but I don't think we should have expected to hear anything new at this point, right? Like they've announced to us, has been following the game for so long. They've already announced that they're not adding anything new to the game. They're done. They're going to be polishing up the game up until beta and then trying to get ready for launch. So we already knew that. So going into this, expecting something new was not something I was expecting. And I think maybe some people were, but they've already said they're not doing anything else. So this was more of a promotional thing, which I thought was really good. I thought Scott Lane did a really good job on it. And it's very exciting to see them start to pump out this type of advertisement and try to build the hype. I've been seeing advertisements for it on Facebook, on Twitter. I've been seeing promoted ads for the game. So they're starting to ramp it up, man, as we get close. And it's exciting to see. I can't wait, man. We're almost there, dude. Getting close, man.
Real talk though. Scott Lane seems like a real chill dude. He would seem like someone that would be cool to hang out with because he doesn't seem to get too disturbed about much. And he's a pretty level-headed guy. It's cool to see him again.
I enjoy watching his stuff very much. Yeah.
Yeah. So that wasn't all we got, Bordy. We got another video on expeditions, more specifically the Lazarus Instrumentality. Now this is one of the dungeons that me and you have kind of been really excited about because it kind of releases more on the ancients. So first off, let's talk about that. The setting of the Lazarus Instrumentality is a ancient tomb. So, Bordy, what are your thoughts on the imagery and the setting of this in-game expedition?
I love it, man. I think it's amazing. And you can kind of see some of the ancient technology in there as you walk through. You see those kind of columns that are there with the lightning, lighting type of things going through there. Like it looks like lightning shooting through there or whatever. Some kind of energy coming from Azoth shooting through there, which is really, really cool.
Azoth, dude.
Maybe so. Maybe in its purest form, dude. We don't know. And then you have like the big statues everywhere, the ancient statues we've come to know and see everywhere. And then you have them kind of on the ceiling and on the walls, and it looks incredible. And one thing that gets me about New World and about that specific expedition in general, and what's kind of starting to drive the point home a little bit for me, is just the scale of how big it felt whenever you see them walk in there. And I love that, man. I think that they do a good job with scale in this game. That's kind of a big thing I like in MMOs and in games in general, is for things to feel how they should feel, right? Whenever you walk up to a big obelisk in the game, you want it to be huge. You want to be looking up at it. And they do a good job at that. And there's a lot of structures throughout New World that just look amazing. And they're so big and so massive. And that's kind of the feeling I got whenever I was watching that video. It's like, man, the scale of this place looks incredible. And just the architecture and all that stuff looked awesome, man. And then the boss designs I thought were really cool. Mm-hmm. My first impression overall was, I thought it was really, really good looking, man. I very much enjoyed it. Yeah,
I agree. And it's important to note, this is an in-game expedition. So as you're watching the video, you see level 65 elite mobs is just trash mobs, and the bosses are a level 66. So well above your character max level, which is 60. I think that's cool. Adds some difficulty. Hopefully not just false difficulty, but the mechanics. Also, the bosses looked pretty cool as you watch those boss fights. One of the other things I noticed, Bordy, and they mentioned in the video, is that puzzle with matching the runes to open up the doors to travel down the different paths in the instrumentality.
Yeah, I like that a lot, man. I'm a big fan of having puzzles within the dungeons and having kind of things you have to do within the dungeon versus just going in there and killing mobs. I think that type of stuff is really cool, man. And I know that you play a lot of Destiny Red, and you have in the past. You're a big fan of how they do a lot of stuff over there in that game. And I think that New World could and should probably take a page out of their game. And it looks like they kind of are with these puzzles and the Lazarus Instrumentality. It looks really cool, man. I like that type of stuff in a dungeon. But how hard is too hard when it gets to those types of things, Red? Do you like something to be incredibly challenging? Because here's the deal. Once you go through it once, you're going to know how to go through it again, unless it's somehow randomized or something. So I like it if it's pretty difficult in the beginning and your first experience through there is like none other. And then after you do it once, you're going to be able to go through it again, and it won't be a surprise. You'll know exactly what to do. But how hard is too hard, man? I
don't think there's any such thing right now in MMOs that I feel like something everybody, there's a community of things like, wow, this is way too hard. And I think a lot of the times they undershoot it, and then like it's just like, hey, this is supposed to be in-game content, and then people clear it in like an hour or two. And that's something you definitely don't want. Bordy, one of the other things that I'd like to talk about real quick before we wrap this up is the different armor sets that they showed in the video. Obviously, the last patch in June, they already added 50 more armor sets. So it's getting up there, Bordy. I would say we're edging up to 100 different armor appearances, not just sets of armor in game. So I just want to commend the art team for that. There is a lot of sick looking suits of armor in the video. So
yeah, absolutely. I love it, man. The more the merrier. And I think they're going to continue to iterate on that and just continue to add more sets to the game. That's what it seems like anyway. And I'm here for that for sure. I like it. I like the different styles, the vast variation you can have within the game. And you can put on different pieces of the armor. So you can mix and match the different styles to your heart's content, which is awesome too. I love it, man. It's definitely headed in the right direction. And that's such a big step forward from where the game was, because I know back a while ago, even during the preview event, man, there were very, very limited armor sets. And a lot of them just didn't look that great, in all honesty, but you were kind of stuck. So everybody ran around looking almost the same. You either had on a shirt, or you had on like this trench coat looking thing, or you had on some heavy armor. And that was really that was it, really. So it's so refreshing and nice to see that they're adding a whole lot of variation, and man, it's shaping up nicely.
Yes, for sure. All right, Bordy. Well, again, it's just always good to see, them actively promoting the game. They were pretty active in the Summer Games event. So, I'm just here for the hype building and hopefully a bunch of people getting ready for the release of this game, because it's coming, dude. We are really getting really close to a month away from the closed beta
Yes.
You know, a lot of excitement around here, obviously in the Discord and on this channel. So I'm here for it, dude. All right, so we do have a company of the week this week, and the name of the company is Hotto Doggu. So, Bordy, take it away with our company of the week.
Yeah, man. Hotto Doggu. It's a meme guild that plans to go hard in PvP when New World launches. They say join us if you want a game. If you want to game with hardcore players that have a laid-back approach for how to run a guild. And they say check out their Discord below. And then they also say that streamers and mages are wanted. So apparently they want a guild full of mages running around blasting people with fireballs and ice magic while streaming the game, which is awesome. I think this looks like a pretty fun guild to be a part of if you guys are interested. They are undecided on their faction. Language is English. Their focus is heavily PvP related. It looks like they want to keep a fairly small company size, 11 to 25. They are currently recruiting. We'll make sure we post all this information in the show notes everywhere this is available on YouTube and then on all the podcasting platforms as well. So make sure you go check them out, man. Hotto Doggu if you want to be a part of a very hardcore PvP meme guild. It sounds like a lot of fun, man. Yeah. I bet they're gonna have some shenanigans going on within that company for sure.
Yeah, and they have a cool looking like dog emblem on their page. Hot dog. As you would expect. I'll pull it up real quick for our viewers here. There we go, boys. Cartoon hot dogs. It reminds me. I knew a guild in the ESO. I can't remember what their name was, but they had like a cheeseburger with the same smiley face that can't remember their name, but maybe it's the same people, possibly, dude. If so, let us know in the comments below. Are you guys the ESO guild, whatever, with the hot dog emblem, or not? It was a cheeseburger. I don't know. I'm probably misremembering this. This is I digress. Let's wrap this up here, Bordy. Again, guys, thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be part of the New World community. And thank you guys for getting us to 1K subs. It's you guys are the reason we're here. You guys are the reason we make these podcasts. We cover games like New World is because we want to create content for you guys, and having supportive people behind us is an amazing feeling, Bordy. So again, thank you guys so much. Anything you need to say before we wrap this bad boy up?
No, man, just a big thank you to Hotto Doggu for being a patron. That's how they got their company shouted out on the podcast here. So thank you to them and every one of our other patrons. The patron has been growing quite a bit. We have several over there now. So thank you guys so much for supporting us above and beyond. Man, we can't tell you how much we appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, from me, Bordy, and Taken, again, you guys are the best. Thank you so much. Go check out New World Fans. We got a builder up there now. Of course, we mentioned that last episode. And now there's like a rating system. So we're gonna try to work in a build of the week, potentially, or maybe build of the month. As soon as we get these this rating system up and going, you guys can upvote your own builds, I guess, or builds that you think are going to be good. And then as the game launches, we'll be able to have some facts out there with some highly rated builds. So we're looking forward to cover some of that on the channel as well. All right, guys. Well, that about does it. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you in another episode of New World to Go.